This is not a story about a few bad choices or reckless spending. This is the story of a systemic shift, a slow-motion economic catastrophe unfolding right beneath our feet. We are talking about the trillion-dollar crisis, the unbearable weight of student loan debt in modern America. For decades, the narrative was clear. Higher education is the essential ladder to the middle class, a prerequisite for stability. We were told to invest in ourselves, that the cost was secondary to the guaranteed lifetime return. But somewhere along the way, that investment became a crippling liability, trapping an entire generation in financial quicksand. Let us start with the most glaring discrepancy: the divergence between the cost of admission and the ability to pay for it. Since 1980, the average cost of college tuition and fees has skyrocketed by well over 1,300%, adjusted for inflation. Think about that number. Few, if any, other essential services or goods have seen such an astronomical, unchecked increase over the same period. During the same span, the typical American worker's wages, for most cohorts, have remained stubbornly flat, experiencing only marginal increases that barely keep pace with general cost of living inflation. This creates a terrifying gap. The price tag for the golden ticket to success has increased tenfold, but the salary waiting at the finish line has not, forcing students to rely on borrowing simply to participate. This reliance transformed the student loan market from a tool of opportunity into a massive government-backed engine of debt collection. When you borrow money for a house or a car, there are tangible assets securing that loan, and bankruptcy offers a safety net, a last resort for the truly desperate. Student loans are different, uniquely punitive. They are unsecured, nearly impossible to discharge through bankruptcy, and often carry interest rates higher than many mortgages. The insidious nature of this crisis is rooted in the magic and misery of compounding interest. A student graduates owing $70,000, which is already daunting, but that principal balance rarely stays put. Interest accrues daily, often capitalizing, meaning that interest is added to the principal, and then you start paying interest on the interest. If the graduate struggles to find an entry-level job that pays a living wage, which is increasingly common, or if they face forbearance due to unforeseen hardship, the balance balloons dramatically. Suddenly, 5 years out, that $70,000 loan is $95,000. Even though the borrower has been making consistent, albeit inadequate, payments, they are running on a debt treadmill, expending significant effort only to fall further and further behind, effectively paying a lifelong penalty simply for seeking an education. The cumulative result of this widespread financial stagnation is not just personal hardship. It is a profound macroeconomic drag on the entire nation. The myth that this debt is somehow good debt that stimulates the economy is demonstrably false. When tens of millions of highly educated people are dedicating massive chunks of their monthly income to service non-dischargeable debt, they're removing that money from the productive sectors of the economy. They cannot afford to engage in the necessary life milestones that drive growth, chief among them, purchasing a home. Student debt is now arguably the single greatest impediment to first-time homeownership for young Americans. A mortgage lender looks at the borrower's debt-to-income ratio, and that $500 or $1,000 monthly student loan payment significantly reduces the amount of mortgage a person qualifies for. Even if they qualify, they struggle mightily to save for a down payment because their discretionary income is already captured by the interest. Accruing on their education, this dynamic has profoundly distorted the housing market. It's artificially restricting demand from the key demographic of first-time buyers, leaving them perpetually renting while older, more established generations accumulate housing wealth. The flow is blocked, and the stream of capital that should be revitalizing communities and fueling consumer spending is instead routed back into the complex, often opaque world of loan servicers and bond markets. We are left with a generation that is educated but profoundly undercapitalized, burdened by an asset that depreciates their financial standing rather than elevating it. This trillion-dollar crisis is not a niche political issue. It is the silent corrosion of the American dream itself, impacting everything from entrepreneurship rates to family formation. Understanding this crisis requires looking beyond the individual borrower and recognizing the collective structural forces that created this untenable situation. The next steps require clear eyes and a willingness to confront the fact that we have allowed the cost of fundamental opportunity to become financially ruinous. If you are looking for deep dives into how structural economics affects your daily finances, make sure you are subscribed. You definitely do not want to miss our future analysis on these very real topics. Find more comprehensive financial breakdowns over at Financial Cake, where we always peel back the layers of complexity.